Okay. Instructurecon is tomorrow. Instructurecon. How did I get a message about Instructurecon? Hello, everyone. Just looking at some things here. Instructurecon is just a day away. You don't want to miss out on the biggest virtual event of the year. Join us on 7th October for this free virtual event. As a reminder, this is what you can expect on a day. Some serious cerebral keynote speakers, carefully selected educator-led breakout sessions, roundtable discussions, product news, and networking. A fun, interactive online experience. Oh, well, sounds like something I just have to pass up. Let's see. Attendee guide. For more info. Oh, have I got somebody? Oh, there. I snagged myself Jeffrey.
Yes, you did.
All right.
And you should be happy.
I should be.
You better be. So you've been on. Okay, you just got on here. All right.
I just got on. Yeah.
What is happening there, Daniel?
Not too
How
much.
is this Wednesday morning for you?
You're only 2 days behind, Jeff. That's not too bad for you.
Oh man, yeah, it's okay. I can't catch up. I can't catch up.
Hey, what do you think of the color? What do you think of the color of my new jacket?
I love it.
Yeah.
No one will miss you.
I got that for riding my scooter around. I figure there's no way they can claim they didn't see me if I'm wearing that, right? You know?
That's absolutely right. That's why I have a red helmet, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a great color. Yeah, I do that when my wife and I go walking. Yeah, we have this. I have that strip, the same color actually.
Oh, cool. Yeah, those are good. Those are really good. Yeah, I highly recommend anybody that goes around at night, be it walking, bicycling, scootering, motorcycling, whatever. Yeah, you want to be seen. That's for sure.
Absolutely. You got to be seen. Yeah. To be seen and to be heard. Here we are.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. We're being seen and heard, Dan.
Yeah. At least 5 people have peeked in so far, so that's good.
That's good, yeah. 5 people. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So we've got the layman's philosophy this morning.
That's what we got.
We got a mention actually in the class I went to observe last Thursday.
Oh.
At the National Institute of Technology here. The facilitator, Yusuke Morotomi. Do you know him?
Yusuke?
He was the Morotomi. Yeah, he's the old intensive English coordinator here.
Oh,
and really into Lego serious play.
All right.
So that's what I went to observe. And he watches us sometimes. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Or he has seen us, I should say, on Facebook.
All right.
He told the class. He told the class because we were talking about doing some live things on media, social media, and the class was interested, so he mentioned it to the class. So there we go.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of social media, did you hear about the kerfluffle with Facebook yesterday?
FB, I sure did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman
that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting.
The best part of the whole story was that they announced it on Twitter because they couldn't, everything that all their, Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook are all down, right? So they actually, apologized and announced it on Twitter.
Are they down?
They're back up now. I think the last I heard, Instagram was still down. I'm not sure. I don't use it that much, but Facebook is back up again, I think.
Yeah, Facebook is up because I checked it just this morning. Okay. So Facebook is up, but apparently the woman had some ground to stand on. Yeah, she got documents, which I didn't know. I heard that this morning. She actually worked there, right? And she got documents. She got that they knew all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of just trying to make a buck. Yeah, apparently.
Oh, you're talking about the effect on the detrimental effect on the teenage girls that they knew about?
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
The fact that Facebook was down. It was the service was shut down.
Yeah. I heard that.
That was not a choice. That was like a kerfluffle. They in fact, they were so shut down that there's swipe cards that the employees have to get into the door, get through the doors, to where the computers are, to reset the computers. The cards wouldn't work because it was all on the computer network, so they couldn't even get into the building for a while.
Wow. Now, what time did that happen? Because I must have gone to bed early last night.
That was 11 o'clock their time.
Right.
I don't know which time zone that was now, but it was like 11 o'clock in the morning and ran, basically all afternoon. Wow. It went for like 8 hours or 9 hours, something like that. Yeah, it went for a long time.
11 o'clock in the morning their time, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, yeah, I was sleeping, yeah, because it was 10 o'clock. Or no, it was, 12 o'clock here? Midnight, so I was gone. But so, wow, okay. Now
right, what? Yeah, that's what Abyss said too. Yeah, that's what he saw. He saw the same thing, I guess. Yeah, people were locked out. Some of this.
So what did that have to do with, though?
It was down for 7 hours. Okay.
7 hours.
Mark Zuckerberg lost $6 billion because of it. Oh, no, my heart bleeds.
Yeah, my heart bleeds. I know. Shucks. Too bad.
Oh, yeah.
That was nothing to do with the woman, then?
No. As far as I know, I'm not sure. I haven't heard what the cause was, but
that's what I'm interested in. Why? What was the cause? Yeah.
Yeah. That I haven't heard. All I heard was that WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook were all down, and it seems like Instagram was down longer than Facebook was. But yeah. But like I said, they announced it on Twitter, which I just thought was great.
So you were up when that was going on?
No. I heard this on. I watch the Colbert, Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
He was talking about that
yesterday, or what time was that?
I just found out about it this morning.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'll have to check out Colbert's latest show there.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, like we said, we were sleeping. I was sleeping at least last night. So, and this morning just very busy getting ready. Wow, that's intense. So back up now, I guess. Hey.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, like you, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it. But yeah, it was interesting, the timing. That woman, the former whoever she was, that came up and was talking about how, Facebook was putting profits above, the welfare of their clients or their users, and so on. Yeah, which nothing surprising, right? A multi-billion-dollar company is not going to put is putting their profits ahead of their customers. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. It's not surprising, it was interesting that she actually had documents. There were loads of pages of documents. Yeah.
Well, that just shows you that they're really not afraid anymore. It's like, okay, they get caught, they get a slap on the wrist, and they'll go on. Maybe make some adjustment if they have to, but otherwise, it's business as usual.
Yeah, they were talking about this morning the Congress stepping in, but can they even do that?
Congress stepping in. How is that going to reduce, any kind of problems? I mean, Congress, Congress are not exactly the epitome of troubleshooters. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Right. I mean, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Yeah.
No.
They'll still keep going on, and but I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think it has a lot of detrimental effect? I mean, I guess it does apparently, but I don't feel, for me, I don't really feel any detrimental effect. How about you, Dan?
Well, when was the last time you were a teenage girl, Jeff?
Yeah, not only teenage girls, teenage guys. I mean, teenagers, right? Too, right?
But she was focused on the teenage girl, the effect on teenage girls. I think, at least with the segment I heard, that's what she was talking about. But yeah, I mean, is it the problem with Facebook, or is it the problem with society as a whole that teenage girls are affected by social media to that extent?
Well, in general, aren't they? They're very concerned about what their peers think of them and whatnot. Sure.
Computer's
Yeah.
down. Oh no.
Yeah.
The Facebook bug has hit abyss there, right?
Yes. Yes. Wow. Oh my golly. Facebook.
Um,
My computer's alive and well.
yeah.
This
Oh,
one.
yeah. So, now I decided to get myself a print scanner keyboard for my M1 Mac, my Mac Mini. It's got the M1 chip, so it'll support the finger reader, the fingerprint reading keyboard.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
How much is that?
Let's see. The standard one is like 15,000, and the extended one with the 10 pad, the 10 keys keypad is 18 or 19,000, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Well, that should be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's nice, because there's no face recognition, and so it's nice not to have to type in the password every time. If you go away from your computer for a while and it goes to sleep, just be able to touch it is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah. That's what our iPhones now do the face recognition, but I actually love I've got the iPad Air 4 that has the fingerprint recognition on the power button. I just love that.
My MacBook Pro has that. My MacBook Air has that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the MacBooks have done that for a while, but I really like. Yeah.
Mac Mini is good if you can get that keyboard. Yeah, I just have a regular keyboard, Mac keyboard, Magic keyboard.
Yeah, that's what I'm using now.
Yeah,
I've actually got the extended one.
Oh, okay. It has the numerical keypad on there.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of like that when I'm doing grades and so on. Entering all the numbers and so on. That works pretty good. So.
Absolutely, it's very useful. I used to love that when I had the bar doing the numbers for the bar, of course, right? Just and grades. Yeah, sure. It's very, very, very good for that.
I actually got the extended keyboard is actually the US version.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the hiragana, all over it, and it also doesn't have the one key to switch between languages, right? So you have to remember the key combination or go up to the menu to switch languages. But then it's a small price to pay.
It's Command S and then colon or something, isn't that it to switch? Or something like that.
Command
something.
Yeah, command option or command control semicolon or something like that, or
right.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. I usually just go because I don't use it often enough. Oh yeah, on this one, yeah, command shift semicolon and then command shift J goes back and forth. Yeah,
that's right. Command shift semicolon. Right, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of Western keyboards too. Have to remember that. That's right. But it's a small price to pay, like you said. Really.
Yep.
And as far as typing Japanese, you just need the letter combinations. That's really all, right?
Yeah.
Turns into hiragana and kanji anyway, right?
I mean that the English, the A suji, or the English key and the kana key, those are really convenient to switch back and forth. But the hiragana written on the keyboard is absolutely meaningless because I don't know anybody that uses the hiragana input style.
Who does that? I don't either. No. All you do, for example, fa is F and A, right?
Right.
Or N and A, right? Or na, N and A or whatever, right?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know anybody. I mean, because it's so obtuse to try and remember all those things. I mean,
But I know some people, even on the iPhone, the keypad where it comes up, the kanji choices or hiragana, katakana, right? The big box, yeah.
Right.
I know people who do it that way, right?
Oh yeah.
And they slide it up, right? They choose the ones they need and slide it up, and a lot of people are very fast at that. But I do even on my iPhone, I do it just like a regular keyboard, right?
Yep, me
like
too.
katakana, right? And
Yep,
it's
me
the
too.
same.
Yeah,
Better
but
for us.
yeah, but yeah, definitely the Japanese, yeah, almost all of them seem to use the sliding like you were talking about there. That's really quite fast if you practice that up a little bit and you're familiar with Japanese already. So yeah.
Yeah, right. It is just amazing, right? It's just,
Yep.
wow,
Yep.
finished. It's too much for my brain.
All righty. Well, shall we see what's on the layman's philosophy menu today?
Absolutely, Dan. And too bad Abyss can't join us, but maybe he'll
Yeah.
get his computer
He's here in
up
spirit.
after he
I thought
closes.
hiragana was easier to read. I have trouble with katakana, even more so with kanji. Yeah. Hiragana and katakana are very similar. I mean, katakana is more like straightened out strokes, whereas hiragana is more rounded and so on. But they basically
Yes,
parallel each other. Their usage is slightly different. Hiragana is for the Japanese. Katakana is
right.
mostly for nature sounds and for foreign words.
For foreign words, for
Kanji
foreign
kanji
words.
is like the Chinese writing system.
Kanjis,
Each one
exactly.
has uh, several different ways that you can say that same character. It has
Right.
basically one meaning, but
One meaning,
lots of different
sometimes
ways
two
that you can
meanings.
read it. So
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes two meanings. But right, they have more than one reading, right?
yeah.
Pronunciation. So onyomi and kunyomi. And if you're
Uh,
not familiar with those, it's really hard to pronounce. Yeah.
how about nama or
Yeah, yeah.
life? Nama, or
Right.
whatever you want to call. I mean, that one has I don't know how many. That one has like 60 different readings.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
It's
Totally many different readings. Yeah.
you know it's ridiculous. And some of them are just like, it only has this reading in this particular word type of
This
thing.
particular
It's like,
context,
yeah,
yes.
oh,
It's hard. It's very hard. So a lot of times I can get the meaning, right? If I
yeah,
read a document, I can get the meaning, but to
yep,
read it out loud, it's way hard a lot.
yep,
I
yep,
have
same with me,
to
same
go
with
back
me,
and refresh,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
So kanji is, kind of a separate entity from hiragana and katakana, although sometimes they're used together in the same sentences.
Hmm.
But apparently, a long time ago, they did create some kanji variations from hiragana. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yeah. Yeah. So a lot of times, yeah, like I said, the katakana seems to be kind of a straightened out version of the hiragana, but sometimes the katakana and the hiragana have different kanji sources, kanji origins, which is
Yeah,
really freaky. It's like,
that's
why did they do that? I don't know.
exactly why did they do that. And if you try to remember, these things, it's so hard to memorize kanji, right? For me, I mean, and that's why kids go to juku, special juku or kumon, right? When they're
You know,
kids, they learn the stroke order of all these kanji, right?
I mean,
I
I think
Yeah,
that we could remember it. Both either
yeah,
one of us could remember it if we spent as long as the Japanese kids do. I mean, I remember my daughter coming home, and having to spend, an hour or 2 hours, writing the same kanji 100 times as homework. You got to write it out, write it out, write it out. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
terrible.
Right. So yeah, it's crazy, right? And it's
Yep,
just it's very hard to memorize. And like you said, right? If we use it as much as Japanese people did, we could remember it, right?
yep,
I
yeah.
actually went to Kumon a few times
Oh yeah.
ages ago to learn basic kanji, right? You
Mm,
just have to write it, a million times, and then you
yeah.
go and the teacher checks it, and
Mm.
they give you a circle or a bots. Yeah.
I've studied Japanese twice. The first time it was a summer course, a non-intensive, just a kind of a blow-off Japanese language course between my first and second year of graduate school. I didn't have anything to do that summer, and I thought, it might be useful to learn some Japanese. And I barely learned anything, aisatsu, and I did learn the hiragana and katakana. Um,
Right.
but that was about it. Maybe a dozen kanji or something like that. But then about maybe 15 years ago, 15 or maybe 20 years ago now, it's been something like that. I there was uh, there was a school in town, or maybe it was through I can't remember exactly the details now, but anyway, there were a group of students who were learning how to teach English, or I'm sorry, teach Japanese to foreigners.
Okay.
Right. And so they wanted a kind of a practice class. And so they asked for volunteers to come in and learn Japanese, and we could learn Japanese for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, it was great, except that all the other students, I think, except maybe there was one other student besides me that wasn't Chinese. They were almost all Chinese, so they could all read the kanji. All they had to do was learn how to pronounce it in Japanese, right? And me, I'm there like, what the, I have no idea what the kanji is,
That's the thing, yeah. The kanji's, borrowed from China, so they all know the meaning.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So they just had to learn how to read it, or how to, what the pronunciation was. Me, I was on the opposite. I knew how to say all those things, but I had no idea how to, what was written on the board there, It's like, what? Somebody would read it for me, so then I was okay,
They've got 10 up on us already, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, exactly. Just, and I've never taken a Japanese course. I've never studied Japanese formally. I've never taken a Japanese proficiency test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never. Have you? Have you
like I said, I took I've never taken it really seriously, but like I said, summer school class, it was like 12 classes or something like that, over the summer.
Yeah. Wow.
And then that freebie class that I didn't learn that much because it was the target audience was different than me.
Right.
But that's the only time that I've actually studied. I did take a Japanese language proficiency test of some type. It wasn't the famous one. It was a kind of an alternative. And
really?
Yeah. And they had like 5 levels, and I wasn't confident at all. Again, this was about the same time. This is like 20 years ago I took it, and I easily passed the level 4.
Right.
But yeah, so level 5 just sounded too ridiculously easy. So I took the level 4 and passed that easily. 4. But
right. So level 5 is the basic one.
Right. Yeah.
Very, very.
Yeah. Level 5. If you can walk in and say konnichiwa, you could probably get to level 5. I don't know. You probably have to read hiragana, katakana, and so on. But yeah,
right.
Even level 4, I passed, like 95% or something like that,
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah. And then you never took it after that?
No, it's like, it was much cheaper, but then again, it was, then the regular one, the JLPT or whatever it is.
JLPT, isn't it?
JLPT. Yes. Yeah. But it wasn't as readily recognized by different places, and I just wasn't invested enough to actually take the regular JLPT. So I just gave it up. I should have, although I don't know what it would have done for me, but I guess it would have been nice to put on my resume.
Yeah, I guess I was just going to say, sometimes it is nice to put on your resume, although. Yeah, no one has ever asked me,
right,
what my JLPT level is. Never. Right.
Yeah.
I think, maybe it is nice to put on your resume, or nice to say that, but I don't think it really means much either.
So you never took a test either?
No, never.
Yeah.
I thought I would at one point, and I studied for it and whatnot, and I never did.
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe actually I might, actually take it. I mean, it's too late now to have much meaning here, but I thought if I go to the Philippines and I can say, hey, I passed the Japanese language proficiency test at level 2 or whatever, it might impress somebody or get me a few more students or allow me to charge a little more for my lessons or whatever, if I want to do that.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool though. You could do that, actually make some more income,
Yeah.
And
okay. So anyway, going back to our philosophy, success.
Yes. Success. Yeah, success.
How should we measure success? Yeah.
So first of all, we have to determine what is success, right? And then
right.
Is there an opposite of success?
Failure,
but what is that too, right? I mean, what makes one person successful might not make someone else successful. Sure. does having lots of money equal being successful? Does having a great health equal success? Yeah, I mean, I don't really. For me, I'm not that concerned with the amount of money I have.
Mm.
I know for many people, especially in the West, that does determine one's success. Hey,
Mm.
or at least your own feeling about your own success.
Yep.
I think too, largely, right?
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I've never been a money chaser,
Mm.
right? I grew up, in a very nice situation. Perhaps that's why.
You're too busy being a skirt chaser.
Shh, come on, Dan.
Just in case any of your students are watching,
Geez, Dan.
Sensei, what is skirt chaser?
How you put things into the light of day, I swear, right? Yeah, I mean, so for me, being a success is, you have your goals, and I think we've been over this before, but you have things you want to accomplish, and you're able to accomplish them
Mm.
to your own satisfaction. For me,
Mm.
that's success, I think.
Right.
Yes.
So again, yeah, we agree that it's completely a subjective thing, and yeah, for me, money has, I mean, the only part that money plays is simply the fact that I need, because of the way our society works, I need a certain amount of money to simply be able to survive. Really, I mean, I could go completely off grid and live in the wilderness, I suppose, but that just doesn't appeal to me, that lifestyle. So,
Right.
wanting to live, something like I am requires a certain amount of money, but how much money I have is not at all a measure of my own success. To me, it's more the feeling of satisfaction with my life. The level of satisfaction that I feel at any given time is probably the best measure of how I feel about of my success.
I got you, and I'm totally in with you on that. I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Our own
Yeah,
life satisfaction is the most important thing, right? And as you said, it's
absolutely.
subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, does having great health equal success?
That is a
I think,
very good point. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's a good, addition to the question. I think, yeah, if you're in good health, to where, you're not struggling and not in the hospital continually, that might be considered success, right?
Yeah, but I kind of agree with that. But then again, I don't feel that people that you know uh, through genetics or whatever have poor health, that
Mhm.
they would necessarily be labeled as unsuccessful because of that,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I mean,
Right.
so I think kind of like anything else, is subjective, and if you are satisfied with your health, then that's good enough. And if you have poor health and you're not satisfied with your health, well, still that doesn't mean that everyone needs to even factor in their health as part of their own measure of their own success, right? It could be something else.
That's true. You're absolutely right. I mean, you can feel like you're successful or you are successful maybe in
Mm.
other people's eyes,
Mhm.
right? And you may have, quite bad health, or you
Mm.
might be a smoker or what have you, right? In the old days, many people were, right?
Mm.
I think in like a while ago, I think there were many, many doctors and people who were smokers, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so they've been
there used to be
successful.
commercials that say, "Yeah, recommended by 4 out of 5 doctors." Smoke.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, right, exactly. Yeah. I
yeah.
think commercials like that were banned in the early 70s, weren't they?
I
Yeah.
mean, doctors stopped promoting, tobacco smoking. I think even earlier than that, maybe in the 50s or 60s or something. But yeah, tobacco ads on television. I remember when I was very young, the Marlboro Man. He smoked
Yeah.
Marlboros and rode a horse. Cowboy. Smoking Marlboros. And so on.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. But television advertising was banned quite a while ago in the 70s, I think, or maybe in the 70s, I think. And for a while there were still tobacco ads, cigarette ads in magazines and so on, but
Right.
they've eliminated those also.
I do remember those, the cigarette ads in magazines. I don't remember televised commercial.
Really? Okay. Yeah, you young whippersnapper.
Well, a little bit. I got a little bit of youth on you. Not much, but
really, you never saw the Marlboro Man commercials, huh?
I don't remember those, but you know what I do remember?
Hmm.
Kick the Habit commercials on TV. When the guy would jump up and kick his heels together and throw away his cigarette.
Huh.
Remember?
Yeah. No, those I don't remember. Those I don't remember.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
All
interesting.
right. Well, thanks for dropping in, Abyss. Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
So the
thanks,
Marlboro
Biz.
Man and Salem. I remember Salem. Cigarettes and Cools. I mean, I remember all these. Lucky Strikes. I remember all these cigarette commercials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Oh, yoku dekimashita. Yeah. Good job.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
Yeah.
Mata kite kudasai ne.
He's like, what?
Come again, please. Yeah.
All right.
Come again, please. Yeah, great. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't remember the actual commercial, but I do remember print ads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do remember a print ad. I'd rather fight than switch.
Yep. Yep. That was a television commercial too. I'd rather fight than switch. And the guy had a black eye, painted on there.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So I was never a smoker. I was a smoker, but you were never a smoker, were you?
Never a smoker. No.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'd
walk a mile for a camel. Remember that?
Yes.
That one?
I do remember that. Yeah.
That one. Oh, that was a lot of fun. I'd walk a mile for a camel. Guys into animals, huh? Okay, I guess. All right.
That's a different broadcast, I think, Dan. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's a measure of success. There you go. Okay, what do we got?
Sorry, before we move on.
Sure.
So tell me one thing in your life recently where you think you've been successful.
One thing in my life where I think I've been successful. I mean, I feel successful in every area. I'm in a happy marriage, right? So I mean, it took me a couple of tries, but I found the right woman for me. I'm very happy with that. I've reached a good point in my career. I'll be retiring, but I feel like I'm a successful teacher. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do what I'm doing, and I feel that I'm a pretty good teacher, and so on. So my personal life with my wife, my career, I feel successful there. I'm satisfied. I mean, basically satisfaction.
Sure.
I feel a high level of satisfaction with just about everything in my life right now.
Excellent. That's great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah,
my choice of friends is a little questionable, but other than that,
that's your best. That's your most success right there, buddy. Yeah. No. Me too. I'm the same way. I mean, I have these little goals I like to get a little academic paper published, right? Mm-hmm. That no one will probably ever read, right? And it means very little in the scheme of things. But I like these little things, right? So those are little successes. But and even taking out the scooter to Costco the other week.
Yeah.
You and I mean, that was a success because I hadn't ridden it in ages and I didn't know if it would start, right? And it's in pretty bad shape.
And we made it back alive.
We made it back alive.
Right. Success right there, man. Yeah, we didn't get clobbered on the highway there. Yeah.
Right. And planting, some plants, right? That actually grow, right?
Yeah.
That you can actually use and eat. I have a few plants in my office here, right? Some coriander and some mini basil and whatnot, and I use them, and so that's for me. I feel that's a success. Yeah.
Farmer Jeff, there we go.
Farmer Jeff. Hey, let me tell you, Dan. Oh, I didn't mean to do that accent, but
yeah, you've been growing some wildwood weed there too, maybe, huh?
There you go. I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah, Herbalife. Yep, Herbalife. All right.
So
success.
What is? So I think also, right, you can have the certain amount of stress that kind of makes you kind of a little bit negative, and then you don't try these things, right? And then for me, that's non-success.
Yeah.
Like you've got little things or pressures that you need to get done and do things, and which I have from time to time,
Yeah.
And you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, what's next? And then, right.
Yeah.
So then, but once you get out beyond those, and hey.
Yeah, for example, my wife, my wife is an amazing cook, and she keeps the place really nice and everything, but her one weak point is when it comes to I don't know, gardening, but plants, house plants. She has killed more house plants than I can count. I think she kind of, over tends them, right? She, it's like she wants to water them every day or whatever, and or she wants to fiddle with them every day, and I think they're just not good for that, But finally, I found an iOS or an iPad app for about caring for houseplants that. It'll take a picture of the plant, and it'll read. It recognizes what kind of plant it is, and then it'll give you a watering schedule and a fertilizing schedule, and so on. And now she's doing great.
That's perfect, man. That's great. That's what you need sometimes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Some plants don't take to that over fiddling. Yeah,
that's right.
I learned that the hard way too. And it depends on the plant. I planted peanuts, actually, 10 peanut plants. Yeah, in my yard here in downtown Kumamoto, right? And they're doing well, but I had to learn how to do it, I had to learn how to replant them into bigger spaces and whatnot. So yeah.
Wow, cool.
Let's see.
Peanuts. I've never seen peanuts growing.
Really? Yeah, they do this interesting thing. They kind of like go down. They grow up on the flowers and kind of grow down back into the soil, and that's what peanuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's just fascinating to me. The peanuts. Yeah, they start out like peas and they end up, like potatoes, underground. I mean, it's just like, wow, how did that ever come about?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. So I'm going to see in November here. I'm going to do the harvest, I think, and see if I got any peanuts. Yeah.
Cool. See if you got any peanuts. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
let's see if you got any nuts.
How about this one? Talking about love. Do those who love us really love us, or do they simply love what they think we are?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Because sometimes I've been in some relationship with some ladies who kind of think that you're one thing, or think you should be one thing, right? And try to kind of mold you into something that they feel you should be, right?
Right. I mean, that's my image of, one male female difference. It's like, in a dating relationship, the guy looks at the girl and says, gee, I want her to be like this, forever. Right. I don't want her to change, and, and the girl looks at the guy and says, this guy's almost perfect. If I spend enough time with him, I'm sure that I can tweak him and make him even better. Right. He just needs to change a little bit. Right. Of course, after marriage, you start raising kids and so on, and just the opposite happens. The young girl now has to be a responsible mother, right? She has to take care of she's taking care of the home or whatever, the traditional, roles, right? She's taking care of the kids, taking care of the home, and so on. So now she's, this fun-loving young girl who now has to be all this responsible. Where the guy, he's still, freewheeling and so on. He goes out and earns a living. He comes home, and he's just like, yeah, let's just kick back and not worry about things. He doesn't change a bit.
Right, exactly. That's the difference, isn't it? You're absolutely right. Yeah. Right. Like a guy will come and sit, kick back on the TV and watch sports or what have you while the wife's vacuuming or something.
Right.
Like I help my wife a lot though, right?
I help my wife too. I lift my feet when she comes with the vacuum cleaner. I help.
You pick up the beer mug when she's wiping the table.
That's right. Absolutely. Sometimes I even take my own empties to the trash, man.
Dude, okay, excellent. Right. My wife kind of, she loves me for who I am, of course, right? And I know that, but she calls me out on stuff, which I should do better, or right,
Mm,
I shouldn't do, right, which I appreciate. I really do, right? Because
absolutely.
it's making me a better person, right?
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, maybe that's one of the major attractions that men have for women is that the women, can, call us out on those things and help us be better human beings,
Yeah. Right.
Um,
No, I think it's very, very true. I think
no,
very, very true.
yeah,
My
yeah.
wife would be like, what do like for drinking, for example, right? She'd be like, do you realize how much you drank last night and how annoying you were, or how much, yeah, or how much that can, be detrimental to your health in the future, and then things like this.
Mm, mm.
Uh, yeah. So the second part of your question: do we fall in love with someone because of what we know they are, or do we fall in love with that person who can potentially become, and then proceed to show glimpses of their potential? Yeah. Okay. Right. I think, yeah, in my case, it's a lot of the latter too. Right.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, my wife, she's very smart. She's brilliant. She's a great cook, right? She's a very good communicator. She's got her own opinion, which I love. But she never went on to higher education,
Mhm.
which is fine. Which is fine.
Mm.
I thought she probably should have. That's
Oh.
just my thing. But no, which is fine. That's great. So she's got incredible potential to do many things, and of course, like I said earlier, she calls me out on stuff
Uh-huh.
uh, to be a better person. You
Mm.
should be more aware. How can you forget these things? Such as, uh, and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, higher education again, it has value. I'm
yeah.
very happy that that I got as much schooling as I did. But yeah, it's not necessary for every path. You
No,
know,
no, by all
um,
means, no.
and yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah,
yeah.
Mercy also, yeah. After high school, went to like a technical school. She never went
Oh,
to
cool.
university either. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Cool.
but then
That's
again, she didn't do too much with the technical training that she got either. So, but
Yeah, my wife went to university
mhm.
in Tokyo, Keio, but she
Mhm.
never went beyond that, right?
Uh-huh.
Where
Mhm.
all her other brothers and family members have gone beyond
Ah.
that. So I
Mhm.
think maybe because she was a girl, and so she had a different kind of viewpoint. Yeah,
Oh,
but
she
yeah,
was a
no,
girl.
that
What is
matter.
she now? No.
Well, she's a woman now, but
Oh, okay. There you go. All right. All
just
right.
like
So
the song, "Girl, you'll be a woman soon."
cool, cool.
Yeah, who was that?
I know I don't want to drag this out too long. I know you got things to do a little bit here. So yeah.
Thank you,
So
man. Yeah.
what do you believe but cannot prove?
Oh. What are people most attached to? Their beliefs. Examine your own sense of belief and consider what you cling to, why you cling to certain things. Gosh, okay. Man, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, we've got a question, of course, the meaning of belief, and where do we delineate, like small underlying feelings as belief, or larger world changing uh,
Well, yeah.
sites as belief, like religion, for example. Yeah,
I mean,
or the
yeah, all of
universe.
those fit. I mean, just things that you believe, right? So, I mean, that maybe you can't actually directly prove, or is it? Are the only things that you believe the things that you yourself can actually prove, or do you believe certain things that you have no direct proof of, but have been taught, or have gained knowledge of through some third party, and you choose to believe that even
Yeah.
with without the direct evidence. So, for example, are you a flat earther, or do you believe in a spherical Earth?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, right? I believe the Earth is round. I was actually, that's funny you said that. I was just gonna say that. I believe the Earth is round.
Why?
I believe we revolve around the sun. Yeah,
Why?
I don't
What's
know
your
why
evidence? Why do you
people.
believe that?
Right. Well, I can't prove it, so that's I mean, that's, I've
Right.
been taught that, so I do believe that, right?
Mm,
I
mm,
can't prove it, of course, right? but I have been taught that. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been taught that. Okay, so that's one thing, but then, and the explanation, the mathematics, again, simplified for me anyway, that explains how it all works and why it must necessarily be so that we're on a spherical Earth and that we're circling a ball of gas and so on, right? Those explanations make sense the way they're explained to us, and yet, but still, the flat earthers have alternative explanations that make sense to them, right?
Right. That's very true. You're right. Yeah, they do. And yeah, it's interesting to hear their explanations. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time. I mean, for a lot of them, some of them, their system is a little bit fragmented and they don't have a complete explanation for everything. You get to certain questions and they kind of don't want to answer, but the overall, flat earth, belief system or whatever you want to call it, I mean, it is internally pretty consistent.
Yeah,
what I've heard, I haven't studied it really deeply, but yeah, their explanations, do come up with a coherent system. So
that reminds me of the people who don't believe we went to the moon. Some of their beliefs are kind of interesting, and they kind of, some of them I can see, right? Like the flag, what was it? The flag is waving where it should be hanging dead or what have you. And you don't see stars or whatever, right? These kinds of things, right? And you start to think, I wonder. And again, we can't really prove that, can we?
Right.
That we never went to the things react like that on the moon unless you've been there, right?
Well, let's see. I wonder if we could, if we had a sufficiently powerful microscope telescope and looked at it, could we actually see the leftover lunar module, the base of the lunar modules that were left there?
Maybe we could. Yeah.
It seems to me that would be pretty good evidence that we've been there.
Right. And no one's ever done that, have they?
Not that I recall, no. And it seems like we should, yeah. Just turn that. Of course, what are you going to do? I mean, you'd have to be able to do it yourself, and the huge majority of us just don't have access to a telescope that powerful, right?
That's exactly right. Yes.
And the telescopes that are that powerful have better things to do with their time than to point it at the moon and say, "Yeah, there's the lunar lander."
Right. Yeah, we should do that, man. Get on that, will you? Come on. Man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So Dan, how about this? How about perceptions as belief? For example, like if you're in a situation and you perceive it to be like something's going drastically wrong, and you perceive like everyone, oh my God, everyone hates me. I did a terrible job. Oh my God, and you start to perceive it negatively, but actually it may not be negative. It may not be what you're thinking, right? Just your perception of it.
Right.
Does that count as belief?
I think so. Yeah, that's a kind of belief. Yeah, you believe that. Yeah, I think so. That would fit my definition of a belief. Sure. Yeah.
You believe you're an idiot and everybody hates you and whatnot. And
right.
It's just your perception of the situation, right?
Yeah. That's one of the things. So they were saying, some people, spend time, in the morning or whenever, in front of the mirror, shaving, make sure this isn't, that didn't get my sideburns even, or I can't get my hair, to lay down right, something like that, right? And you go out, it's like you're embarrassed to go out, because I don't look right, but other people really generally, I mean, almost to the person, don't pay that much attention to you. I mean, maybe your wife does, or maybe our wives do, it's like, oh, you're going to go out like that or something like that, but I mean, most people, I mean, if you're a little bit off, your hairstyle's a little bit off that day, it barely even registers. That's not what they're looking at you for. Right.
No, right on, man. Exactly. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Very true. Right. So, yeah, I believe that's true too. You can't jump to a belief because of a perception.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
that's
Teenagers with their pimples on their face, right? I can't go out today. I've got a new pimple on my nose here. I can't go out. It'd be so embarrassing. It's like you go out and your friends don't even notice, or like, they don't care. None of them care.
Yeah, right. A lot of people don't care. Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day. What was it? Maybe was it This American Life, where this woman didn't really care what anyone thought, of her. She was living a happy-go-lucky life, right? And so she had nothing but positive perceptions, right? And she went to get this new job, right? And she says, and for this new job, they went to an auction, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it, right? And so yeah, she bid on something, but she got overbid, but she just wanted to look powerful, right? She says, yeah, okay, I'm this, hey, look at me. I can do this job. I'm a powerful person. Watch me bid on this thing, right? And she bid like $20,000 and the thing went up, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
So nothing bad happened, but she felt she looked like posh and whatnot. And then she did it again, right? I guess this time, the second time she was going for the job interview, and she didn't realize it was actually a charity.
Oh.
So they got up. It was kind of dealt like an auction, right? And they get up. Okay, who's going to make the first bid here? And she raised her hand at $25,000, and no one else raised their hand. And the auctioneer said, "Oh, thank you very much, ma'am." Right? you're donating $25,000. Yeah.
Whoops.
And she looked around at her table. Oh my God! Right? I didn't mean to do that. Right?
I wasn't bidding. I was just waving. I said, "Hey, how you doing?"
I was waving, right? Yeah, exactly. Everybody else was like wide-eyed and like, "Oh my God!" Right? You have that much money and what have you, right?
Wow.
And in the end, right, she had to go tell the people, right? And this was for some children's kind of charity, right? The children really needed the money, right? So she had to go tell the people, "Oh God, sorry, I made a huge mistake," right? I didn't actually mean to do that. Right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of a belief that led to a sort of a downfall, actually, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, she said she's not that outgoing anymore, right?
That's probably a good thing. Yeah, probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing in that case, right? So yeah, so interesting how these kinds of perceptions can become reality, right? And her belief kind of, made her change her ways in a way, right? Thought that was interesting. So Dan, don't bid on something if you're not sure what it is.
Right on. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that at all. Yeah. But beliefs. Yeah. I mean, when we talk about beliefs, so I mean, I think our minds, or at least my mind, automatically steers toward the spiritual. Beliefs in things that we really are impossible to prove one way or another, and yet we come to some kind of conclusion about these things, right?
Right. Totally. Yeah. One example that I kind of learned a while ago is believing in the universal consciousness, right? Or kind of universal energy. I do believe that. I believe that there's a universal kind of consciousness where we, or universal energy. For example, if we want to obtain something, right, we put our desires out into the universe, right, and eventually it'll see us through. Yeah. And we'll be able to obtain that, So that's kind of what you were just saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's my view of the universe, and of I guess if I was going to label something God, I mean, if I was going to label something God, I would label the universe as God, and and I look at it like a glass of club soda. Right, you got a glass of club soda, and within that, toward the bottom of the glass, these tiny little bubbles appear. The carbonation comes out and forms a bubble, and it rises up to the top, and then it then the bubble pops, right, and so on, right? So and it, but or maybe a bottle, a closed bottle of that or whatever, and nothing is gained, nothing is lost, right? It's just changing its location, changing its form to a certain extent. That's kind of the way I view it, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, we understand that to a certain extent with the the physics of it. Our bodies, we are stardust, right? The old Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. We are stardust. Our bodies. What are our bodies now? That matter actually was born inside a star someplace, sometime, right?
Yeah.
So we recognize that. So why not our consciousness also? Right?
Yeah.
Why not our consciousness also?
Absolutely. It's a fascinating thing for me, consciousness, right? And yours.
Yeah, all this, everything that is just is one of those bubbles in the seltzer water, right? In the club soda. It's just a bubble, and it's a temporary thing. It's gonna, but it's not really. Nothing is really going to be lost. It's just going to change, metamorphose into something else.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, for sure. Very interesting. Yeah, you're right. I like that analogy of the bubble in the soda bottle.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you got a high award, Dan. Great. Wonderful. I have to do more broadcasting on HAPS. Yeah, I haven't done my broadcast in a little while here, but tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, you're going to do it? All right.
Yes, let's do afternoon is possible. 4:30ish if you're around, if that's okay. All right.
Can do. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I'll mail you the topic, and yeah.
All righty then.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we're getting close to your getting ready for work time, huh?
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna have to go log on here in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Because it starts at 10:30 actually.
10:30. Right? Oh yeah. So yeah, we're getting close there. You got 6 minutes. Oh.
6 minutes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I got my classes at your school online again, of course.
Third period, was it?
Fourth and fifth.
Okay, great. Yep. Yeah. Well, cool. Okay, yeah, great. I guess we'll be able to do in-person classes maybe from November, the end of October, November, right? Yeah, which I'm looking forward to.
I am, and I'm not. I mean, to me, like I've told you this before, if I could have had the first month of classes in the classroom to make sure that everybody's got a smooth start, then I'd be fine with going online. I really kind of resent the fact that I need to start online, and getting people started totally from online is much more of a challenge than to have them face to face in the classroom. Once they're started, I'm fine with going online. So I may not go back to the classroom. I don't know.
Never. Huh?
I probably will, because I'm going to ask my students if they have if the period before or after is in the classroom, then they'll probably want to be in the classroom for my class also, which is fine with me. But at that point, I'm flexible.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah. All righty then. So we've talked about this, that, and the other thing. I guess it's time to wind things up. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks to Abyss, and thanks to Peter. Yeah, and thanks to you, Jeff.
Dan. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All righty.
Great.
See you again on the next time. Yeah. All righty.
Bye-bye. Tomorrow I'm